What is going on, everybody? We're here and we are live and we are not late. Despite some of you in the chat saying we're late, we're not, because I scheduled the stream for 11 p.m. So we're obviously 12 hours early. Well,
super
11
early.
hours
Nice.
and 58 minutes early. Nothing wrong with that. But yes, we are here. I'm really tired. I had a fucking long drive last night, so I only got back at around 4:30 in the morning, but we're ready to rock and roll. Josiah Rises, what's up, man?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing? It's I'm gonna be like you probably by the end of this weekend, because I'm gonna be driving about 8 hours north to go shoot some more. Actually gonna be finishing up Blood and Water this weekend, so that's really exciting. Beer's gonna be heading out and everything as well. Jake the Viking's gonna be there, so it's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna be looking like you do right now, probably by the end of the weekend. So,
Are you saying I look tired?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
If you said that to a woman, they get really upset. But I won't get upset because I fucking am tired. I am tired. But yes, it's me and Josiah today. Jeremy is gonna no-show this one. Listen, after that thumbnail that they made last night, did you see that thumbnail for Tuesday night's main event? Who do you think made that? That's what I want to know. Is that Jeremy? Maybe that was actually Jeremy's attempt at making the thumbnail.
maybe he's out of practice. He needs to get back into it a little bit.
That's
just kind of randomly throw all sorts of stuff on the thumbnail, and be like, yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough.
That's true. That's true. But hello to the chat. Hello to the chat. I see KCW for 199. Late in Orange-Agonton. Well, how can I be late if I set the stream for 11 p.m.?
Exactly.
Right? Got to think about it that way.
Nice.
Big brain strategy. Weird Man Productions for 2. Where's my Chinese mushrooms at? Praise Allah. Thank you, Weird Man. I don't know if so. Yesterday somebody said, I forget what it was. It must have been Cole Hauser said something about G.I. Joe, and it was the abbreviation was ARAH. And that's some G.I. Joe thing. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about G.I. Joe. I don't know all these shows. I don't know all of this crap, right? So I just thought it was like a typo or something. Jeremy's like, no, this is a rise, a hope, or something. I don't fucking know what it stood for. I just thought it was like the way a Chinese person would say Allah. Allah. So that's why we got some of that in the chat right now. Lord Plagueis with the gift membership. What's up, Lord Plagueis? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yes. Josiah, what have you, before we get into some of the topics today, what's been going on with you, man? How is Epic Verse coming? Obviously, you're going to this big shoot to finish up a movie that some people saw a little sneak preview of. But when can people start expecting like more updates and stuff on Epic Verse?
Yeah, so are you wondering that because you want to know more about your film and what's going on with that?
Well, I would ask you off air if I want to know more about mine, but I want the chat to know, because everyone's always asking, you know.
Yeah, of course. So obviously we have this big shoot this weekend. Epic Verse has basically like taken over my entire life, which is a good problem to have, obviously. Right now we are still working on getting the website finished up, and we actually just implemented something really, really cool on the website that is going to be like nothing anybody has ever seen on a website before, and it is going to be absolutely just fantastic. I can't wait for because one of the things we're trying to figure out is how we can make the website as interactive as possible for the audiences and for fans, despite the fact that obviously it's going to be basically kind of like a streaming platform. And so we have some really cool things that we're implementing with that. We are probably going to be really close to launching everything probably by close to the end of the year, which is going to be really, really exciting. And we're going to have a lot of content on the website for you guys. We actually are bringing on a whole bunch of other teams into the Epic Verse family as well, who are going to be working on all sorts of other projects for us. So we have a lot of things. Epic Verse is just continuing to grow. We have all sorts of people that are going to be working on just tons of different types of projects for you guys, and it's really, really exciting. We have everything from animated stuff to feature films to short films, and big plans for the future as well. So So yeah, it's really exciting, and you know, it's just the beginning, and we might have some pretty exciting announcements coming up pretty soon for some adaptations of some things that have been circulating in our circles as well recently with some comic books and things like that. So yeah, really exciting stuff.
There you go, man. Well, that's awesome. So I figured I'd give you the opportunity because everyone always asks what's going on with Epic Verse stuff. So that's good, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously right now a lot of it's just behind the scenes stuff. We are just waiting a little bit to before we start to release anything because we kind of have a big plan of how we want to release everything. We have a whole strategy planned out for that. And once we do release everything, it's going to be the doors are going to be blown open, and from there we're off to the races. So it's going to be exciting.
Oh yeah. Shitface Cockmaster. With that being said, appropriate super chat. Shitface Cockmaster for 5. Hey, what's up, Ryan and Josiah? I don't plan on watching Ahsoka. There is way too much to watch Clone Wars Rebels just to understand this garbage. And then Raging Rhino with an Aussie $2. Disney Star Wars. So fucking S. You mean S tier? Is that what you mean?
Canceled.
Yeah. So we do have to talk about that. Anakin Skywalker has made his return again, a year after he made his return in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think there's going to be more people feeling better about this than there was about the Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff. But we're going to get into a couple spoilers for the episode that did come out last night. It's all over the internet. If you're on the internet, if you're on YouTube, you're probably seeing it already. But I did just want to get into that. The point about Clone Wars and Rebels is very true. If you're a Clone Wars and Rebels fans, you're probably loving a lot of stuff that's in Ahsoka because a lot of it is like very much directed at you. In fact, I would argue that almost the entire purpose behind this episode of Ahsoka was just to see things that we've already seen and lessons that we've already seen in Clone Wars, this time in live action. But obviously, it has the added benefit of pulling at everyone's heartstrings with Hayden Christensen. Hayden is awesome. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have a lot of love for Hayden, and I think he gave a really good performance in this episode of Ahsoka. And I think the vast majority of people that see it are probably going to like it. Mm-hmm. And they do a really good job of making you feel like, man, you really need to care about Ahsoka because of how important she is to Anakin or how important Anakin is to her. And that's the entire goal of it. That's always been the goal of this, is to make you care about Ahsoka because you care about Anakin. And I wanted to go through a couple of the images that we've seen. So basically, again, spoilers for what we saw last night. After episode 4, when Ahsoka falls into the water and is either dying or World Between Worlds or something, we do get to see probably about 15 to 20 minutes of her in this essentially dream sequence, going through and remembering things that Anakin's taught her and trying to deal with shit. Of course, the lesson is basically, hey, you either fight and live or you die. I don't know why she needed to wait this long to get that lesson, but I think, there's obviously some deeper meaning behind it. But a lot of what they did was just recreate Clone Wars stuff that we've already seen in Clone Wars with Anakin, with Hayden in live action. You get to see him. Here's a couple of shots from the episode. You get a young Ahsoka. You get the recreation of the scene of Anakin and Ahsoka looking at each other. You get him in his Clone Wars armor. You get Siege of Mandalore. You get a glimpse of Rex, stuff like this. Here's kind of a good comparison to how Hayden looks in that versus his Clone Wars armor. Hayden looked good. Hayden was awesome. Just being real, Hayden gave a great performance, like undoubtedly.
Sure.
There's also, I will give credit to Dave Filoni when I think there's reason to give credit. There was some really cool cinematography moments in this. Like watch this here as she's watching Clone Wars Anakin walk into the flames. Watch this. You get that silhouette of Vader.
That is cool. That is actually pretty cool.
It is exactly like, regardless of what you think about the episode, regardless of if you think it was necessary or if it was just thrown in there from whatever, the cinematography is fucking cool. I would say that this one is even cooler right here. Let's see here.
Nice.
It's cool, right?
That is awesome.
There was some very cool cinematography moments from Dave Filoni in this episode. But whether it is a near-death experience or there was actually something going on, it wasn't all in Ahsoka's head, that's kind of left up to interpretation in a way. But at the end of the day, this was all basically for people that are fans of Clone Wars to see stuff that you've seen before in live action. And if you care about Hayden, you probably think it's really fucking cool. And it was cool to see Hayden like this. And I'm sure it was awesome for him to do this. But in terms of did they really cover any new ground, anything like that? No. Star Wars at this point has just become self-referential. It's like, oh, hey, I remember that happening in Star Wars, and they just did that here. Hey, I remember that shot from Phantom Menace. They just recreated it right here. That's kind of what Star Wars has been, as opposed to really breaking any new ground with any new stories that people care about. And this is all an effort to get you to care about Ahsoka. And in the end, spoiler, she beats Anakin in a duel. Ahsoka beats Anakin in this duel and decides that she still wants to live. And that's when she kind of regains consciousness and gets saved while she's in the water. And then it gets reborn as Ahsoka the White, just like Gandalf, Josiah.
Wow.
Because Dave Filoni has always seen Ahsoka as a Gandalf-like character. But obviously, when you have shots like this, when you have Hayden back doing some of these like signature moves we've seen, that's tugs at everybody's heartstrings because so many people care about Anakin. That's the bottom line. That's what they wanted out of this episode. And I think that Clone Wars fans and Rebels fans, for the most part, are going to be really happy with some of the shit that they've seen from this. I know you've been a little bit checked out on all of it, but what was, when I told you to go look at the like some of the sequences and stuff, what was your thoughts immediately when you saw some of these shots of Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the one of like the flashes, and then we see a little bit of like the Darth Vader version of Anakin, and that was really cool. I don't know really anything about the actual show, to be honest, because I'm just so checked out of Star Wars at this point. But just seeing like that image in its isolation, that was really cool. I mean, it was awesome to see. And I'm just gonna say, you know, if she did end up beating Anakin, like I'm just gonna write that off as a dream sequence if that's the case. So,
so again, to me, the way the people can watch the entire episode, I'm gonna do a review. I'll do a review at some point over on RK Apple's Live of the episode. The way the world between worlds kind of collapsed and turned into water makes me think it's all in Ahsoka's head. But there's a part like Jason Syndulla can feel like what's going on, that there's like a lightsaber battle going on and shit like this. So what does that mean? Did that mean he was just seeing the manifestation from what was going on in Ahsoka's head? I don't understand how she would have got into or out of the world between worlds. I think it's all just her getting over this last hurdle once again that she should have already overcome, that has to do with Anakin. To me, it doesn't really add anything new that we haven't already seen her deal with before, to be honest with you. But obviously it's a cool opportunity. Probably the last time we're going to see Hayden Christensen in Star Wars, I would imagine, unless they once again dig him up to insert him somewhere else. Anakin's story is done. That's the thing. Anakin's story is done. Anakin's story has been told. Any way they use him now is just trying to fit pieces into other places where we already know what his story is.
Right.
That's kind of how it feels to me.
What has been the overall like reception of Ahsoka? Because I thought that a lot of people were, I mean, it's obviously still part of Star Wars, and there's just so many people that are kind of checked out of Star Wars at this point. But like, what are your thoughts about Ahsoka so far?
I think that the way I see it is, for fans, like hardcore Dave Filoni fans and fans of the animation, for the most part, I think are loving it. Like this is really a series that's made for them. That's how I feel about it. You're getting rewarded by like characters you've never seen in live action and sequences that are getting recreated in live action that you know from the cartoons. Again, Star Wars is now just self-referential. That's how that's its like special moments. Is it just just referencing itself? Now, this is probably a 20-minute sequence in a 40-minute episode that you could cut it all out, and I don't think there's really much difference to what's actually going on in the show. But overall, I feel like people that aren't familiar or aren't fans of the animated stuff, you're probably not enjoying this series very much. It's the way I feel about it. Now, I think in isolation, anybody can watch some cool shit, like some cool lightsaber stuff, and see Anakin back. I've always wanted to see what Anakin would have looked like if he hadn't been turned into Darth Vader. I would have loved to see Anakin with the red lightsaber. Like those moments, I think there's going to be people that get enjoyment out of that. Overall, I think there's a very big split between people that care about this, between if you're a fan of the animated stuff or if you're not.
Right,
and
right.
I think we're seeing higher probably social media engagement than we've seen for anything since like Mando season 2. But the problem is it's who's engaging. And when you go and look through these posts on social media right now, it's exclusively a certain demographic that skews young and probably grew up on the animated stuff. And that's just a smaller segment of Star Wars than the general audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality.
Right, right. I mean, Lucasfilm / Disney, they're probably trying to play like the long game and trying to kind of reach out to audiences that haven't even really been involved with Star Wars, younger generations and stuff who haven't really seen much of Star Wars at this point. You know what I mean? So,
well, it's just that's what they like. That's what they like. That's what they grew up on. You know, it was on Cartoon Network when they were growing up, or Rebels. They grew up like stuff like that. And I get it. I'm not going to fucking say you can't be a fan or shouldn't be a fan of it. Everybody comes into things in different ways. But that fan base, let's put it in perspective. Bad Batch, right? We look at Ahsoka's 1.2 million households, right? Debut. Bad Batch season 2, I think debuted in like 74,000 households or something. Right. When you look at that same scale. Yeah. So like the audience is just a little smaller, although it's super hardcore and super dedicated. If you're a fan of this, you're probably, not everybody, because I know people that are big fans of it that don't like what they're doing. But I think those people are the ones that are getting the most out of Ahsoka, undeniably. But now she is reborn as Ahsoka the White. Right? Because this has always been a character that Dave Filoni wanted Gandalf to be. Or he always wanted her to be this Gandalf-like character.
So is she like dressed in white now and all of that? Or wow, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me look it up. Ahsoka the White.
Got a white lightsaber as well, or not to that point yet. Does she really? Oh my gosh. Okay. Going all in on it.
She was so here's the thing, right? This was a scene of Ahsoka. I know, even with the staff. This was a scene of Ahsoka at the end of Rebels, the final episode of Rebels. But they kind of retconned this for this show and showed her in gray when they did this in live action. But this is her now. She dresses in white now because I guess she's come to terms with something again. There you go.
Is she gonna go try to find some little people or something to help out, or what?
Maybe she'll grab. Maybe, who knows? But yeah. And again, I think the people that this show is made for, I do think are enjoying it a lot. Mm-hmm. I think that the last episode was probably better than this episode as a whole, but obviously massive fucking member berries for Hayden. And I think Hayden gave a really good performance. Like, I think Hayden absolutely nailed it. But it's all just an effort to get you to care about Ahsoka because you care about Anakin.
I mean, the only reason why I would tune in is to see basically the Hayden Christensen parts, to be completely honest. Like, maybe I'll go watch that, and that'll be all that I watched from Ahsoka. Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe.
Because that's I kind of did that with I did that with what was it, Mandalorian season 2? Was that when Luke Skywalker showed up at the end? Like, that's literally the only part that I saw of Mandalorian was the very last like episode where he showed up or whatever. And that's all that I watched of Mandalorian. So that's how checked out I am with Star Wars. I'm like, I don't care. But, you know, some of these cool moments, it would be kind of cool to at least see them, even if it's in isolation, just to see kind of the visuals of seeing Anakin, you know, with the red lightsaber and things like that.
I want to see if I can find like for anybody that didn't know, like Dave Filoni has like thought of Ahsoka as Gandalf for a long ass time, right? Check this out. This is right after Rise of Skywalker debuted. This is on Christmas Day, 2019. This is right after Rise of Skywalker came out, and you heard Ahsoka's voice at the end talking to Rey as one of like the Jedi. Everyone's like, "Oh, that means Ahsoka's dead. That means Ahsoka's dead." And he puts out this sketch. People thought I was dead too. Look how that turned out. As Gandalf and Ahsoka.
So he is
the connection that he's always had with her.
Wow, that's really funny. That's really funny. I never even knew that, but that's I don't know, like that's just like so like out of left field for me right now. Like that's just kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that they had like Ahsoka the White showing up in the past and all that stuff. So that's kind of crazy. But is she like more powerful now and all that stuff too,
To
or
be
like
honest,
what?
yes, she's like randomly. She I don't know if you played Fallen Order at all, but the very rare force ability to kind of like touch I forget exactly what it's called right now, but to touch an object and see memories about it and things like that. It's a super rare force ability that Ahsoka never had. She has that in the show now.
Okay,
She is,
yeah.
more powerful, but in terms of have we seen that transformation from Ahsoka the Grey to Ahsoka the White? Not necessarily. I think it's going to be more of a mindset thing for her. I think that's kind of what the
Well,
transformation is going to be.
maybe they'll have a better Gandalf and Ahsoka than they will in Rings of Power. You know, like it's always a possibility. So
Let's get a couple of these super chats. Run, it's Godzilla for 20. I don't give a flying fuck about Clone Wars or Rebels. I'm not watching 7 seasons of TV to care. The whales are dumb at best. Filoni is not as good as Legends, and all he does is steal from it when they need to. Yeah, like it is very self-referential to itself. This show is Dave Filoni referencing himself in
and
live
steal from Lord of
action.
the Rings too, apparently.
Well, sure.
Well,
But
you're a Filoni fan, aren't you?
no, I'm not. Cannot say
Okay.
that. Cannot
Uh-huh.
say that
All
by
right.
any stretch of the imagination. But yes, when it comes to the space whales, that's the other thing at the end of this episode. The map got destroyed in episode 4, and Ahsoka realizes that maybe the whales can get them there. The whales, because this is their space lane to get between galaxies. If you haven't been watching, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. And also, if you never watched Rebels, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But they're using she's going to use the Purgles to jump into hyperspace and
Are they
find
like the
Ezra and
Eagles?
Thrawn.
Does she have
So,
like a little minnow that swims up to her and she whispers to it when she needs to have the whales come or something like that? Or
well, they saw the whale starting to move. She goes up to it and she speaks to it through the Force, and it opens its mouth. She goes in there, and it's now carrying her to another galaxy.
nice.
And the and I think that it is it's the disconnect between people that know the shows and people that don't. I think for people that don't know the shows, they can be like, this is like so like the music gets so high and it's like supposed to be this epic, massive moment that goes on and on and on. And I think a lot of people are watching like, what the fuck is going on here? If you're not familiar with the Purgles.
Right.
Chef Nick Nero for 10. Josiah finished a script, man. It's 3 pages. Would like to see if you have time to look at it. Easy shoot would be 3 locations: office, apartment, and coffee shop. Horror/religious.
Hell yeah, man. I know that we've stayed in touch a little bit on Instagram, so feel free to send it to me and I'll check it out. That'd be sick.
Bruce Flash for $10. Josiah, will Epicverse be subscription based or some other form to support it?
So that's one of the things that we've been trying to figure out, because obviously with the whole subscription model isn't like super sustainable in the long run, and so we've been trying to figure out like what's kind of the creative way how we can kind of have a subscription model but also have something that's kind of unique to us. So we do have something in plan for that, and we're kind of just it's going to be really cool. I think you guys are going to really like what we have planned out for that, and it's going to be something that's going to allow you guys to get way more benefits and way more content than you would with just a simple subscription model. So it's going to be something that's going to be really unique to us and really cool. So we'll speak more on that once we launch the website and once we get closer to that date. But yeah, it's not going to be like a straight like subscription model like you get with like Netflix or something like that. So
Ministry of Wrong Think for 10. What was the point of the MacGuffin if they could just use the whales the whole time? Well, I don't think they understood that. They didn't know before they got there, right? Morgan and everybody like that, they knew that the whales, but they probably didn't think they could control them or use them. They just knew the Purgles had traveled those things. But Ahsoka and Sabine didn't understand that until they showed up at Cetos, that the Purgles were even there. So I guess that's what I would say when it comes to that. But yes, another map MacGuffin. Sierra Tan, member for 5 months. Hey guys, thanks for these streams. They're fun to watch. Hail Geeks and Gamers. Thank you. Stacy Gardner, member for 5 months. Love the Geeks and Gamers community and their Nerdrotic Fellowship. Great shows to listen as I render my gaming videos. Hey, shout out Stacy. Thank you.
Nice.
KCW for 199. Ryan should watch Hamtaro. Right up your alley, bud. Is that an anime? Is that an anime?
Probably.
I don't know. Prototopics for 199. 3 years of hype for only 10 minutes of Hayden. Mid. Yeah, like the thing is, it doesn't. To me, there wasn't enough purpose behind that other than just to, like I wish there would have been a little bit more of a purpose behind Hayden's appearance in that, other than this is kind of just in her head. This isn't something that really happened. It's like I said, I made a video about that before. Now people are they did let it be ambiguous enough that people will now have arguments about it, whether she actually was in the world between worlds or whether it was just all in her head. I personally think it was just in her head, and it's her making the decision to not give up and to live and coming to terms with Anakin's fall and that she's not destined to follow in Anakin's footsteps, all this shit. That's what I think the point of it is, but they want to leave it ambiguous enough that you could believe that that was really a manifestation of the real Anakin in some way. But if it was a manifestation of the real Anakin, why would he exhibit these dark side things after everything he's been through? And also Ahsoka beats Anakin. So I think it's safe to say that's in her head. The question is, how did Jason feel it? But it's a story for another time. Lord Baratheon for 5. I don't get the point of what Anakin was trying to teach her. Yes, it's like live or you make a choice. You either fight to live or you die. And the whole thing was, this is what he had trained her to be, was a warrior. But she needs to be but she's more than that. Stuff like that. So I think the message could have been a little bit deeper and maybe something that isn't so simple, like fight or die, fight to live or die. But hey, Taker 610 for 2. Ahsoka equals Blandolph at best. Well, at best, I would say for sure. Butter Biscuit for 5. Are we sure Ryan and Jay didn't switch places? Wrong time for stream start. Admitting to being a woman sounds like stuff Jay says and does. I don't think I admitted to being a woman. I said if you said that to a woman, they'd get offended, but I don't care. Clone of a Man for 2. Remember when Star Wars wasn't just empty member berries? Yeah, like I said, Star Wars now, it's like the best peak Star Wars is when it just references itself now. That's what peak Star Wars is. It's when you see stuff that you've seen already.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, I think there's just so many people that are just like, obviously it's because of Star Wars just being so, I guess, trash as a whole right now. Like people, even if Ahsoka is good, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to even tune into that. You know, like it's like it's like if you had a restaurant that, you know, like made nothing but like crappy food, and then they put out like one item. They're like, hey, this item is amazing. You should try it. Nobody's going to go try it. You know what I mean? So.
And I think that I'm going to be interested to see like how the ratings are when it's all said and done for this show. If we get any more information about how many people tune in for, say, the finale versus the first episode and stuff like that, I think that'll tell us a lot. So
yeah, for sure.
Hose A for 199. I'm getting tired of the Filoni bronies. 10 out of 10. Getting tired of Filoni bronies. 10 out of 10. I mean, 10 out of 10 scores from people that are big fans of Filoni. Maybe. Clone of a Man for 2. I am Gandalf the White because my clothes got wet. Yes. Lord Baratheon for 199. What did you think of young Ahsoka? It was fine. It was fine. I didn't find it particularly like this. I don't like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka in general. So I think that the young girl who played it, who's the same one who was, I think, young Gamora in Infinity War, same actress, but I think she did a fine job with it. They wanted to give you those moments of young Ahsoka looking up at Anakin so they could recreate those moments again. I think her head looked a little bit funny live action wise, but other than that, it was okay. Yeah, I think she was fine. Tommy reviews for 2. Will we see Ahsoka visit a Jawa with a Sith ring? I don't know. Peter Hewitt for 2. Thought you guys hated Yellow Flash, and there he is. Why would we hate Yellow Flash? Is Flash in the chat? What's up, Yellow Flash?
Yeah,
I don't hate Yellow Flash.
No.
I hate his anime recommendations. Raging Rhino, Kanan fucked the Force into Hera. She could hear the lightsabers too. Yeah, I don't really understand that at all, to be honest with you. Unless it's Jason willing her to feel it, but a lot of that makes no sense. I'll get a little more into detail in my review that I do of it. But yes, Kanan fucked the Force into Hera. She could hear the sabers too. She tried hard enough. So damn stupid. Filoni's a hack, and Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Thank you, Raging Rhino. Donut Swan for 5. 80% of the jokes in my house revolve around space whales. The fleet won't go check out a secret Imperial project, but will go to retrieve one person. Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't make sense about them sending or not the whole fleet, but at least some of the fleet after them. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 10. Janet Jackson's titty literally got more screen time in 2004 halftime show than Rex got in his cameo. Yeah, there's a little Rex cameo there. There was a little Rex cameo there for sure. I do want to talk about something else as well. I gotta look up this tweet from IGN though, because it's just so fucking funny.
The only thing I've been watching right now is One Piece on Netflix.
It's Jeremy. Jeremy can't stop thinking about One Piece.
It's so good. It's so good.
Did you watch check it out, Ryan? Did you watch the anime?
No. No. It's like over 1,000 episodes or something. It's like there's no way I'm gonna be able to watch that whole thing. Like that's so daunting to me. Like
so there's never gonna be a 1,000 episode epic verse series. Is that what you're saying?
Probably not. Probably
go,
not.
guys. You heard it first. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
But I've been loving the live action One Piece. As someone who knows like nothing about One Piece, I've been really, really enjoying it a lot. It's been pretty great. And I think you should check it out, Ryan. I think you'd like it. You know, there's pirates and a dude that can stretch like rubber. It's pretty cool. So
it looks goofy to me. Maybe I haven't even watched Stranger Things yet. I feel like I should watch Stranger Things before I watch One Piece, don't you think?
Probably. I mean, the first season of Stranger Things is fantastic, and then I don't know. I kind of fell off the series after that. Like it's okay after that, but that first season is fantastic when it comes to Stranger Things, but the rest of it's like it's okay. It's all right.
I'm not a big fan of oh, look at these outcast kids, but they can do cool shit. I'm not a big fan of those stories, and that's the vibe that I got from Stranger Things, but I've never watched a single episode of it, so I don't actually know. That's just the assumption I made initially. I was like, I don't need to watch it. Everybody says it's the best thing in the world. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, there's a lot with Stranger Things. Like, it does such a great job with like world building and kind of like setting up the whole, I guess, everything that comes with the mysteries of that story and stuff. Like, it does a really good job with that, at least for like the first season. Then after the first season, you kind of like, after everything's kind of like mostly explained to you, it kind of loses its charm a little bit. And I kind of feel that way about a lot of things. Like, there's something about like that mystery that makes it super interesting, but once you kind of find out what it is, it's not as exciting after that. So but One Piece, it's a good time. It's a good watch, and I think you'd have a really good time with it, Ryan. I think you'd have a really good time with it. So.
Yeah, you almost convinced me. I'm so close. Italian Stallion for 5. Wish you got more dialogue between Anakin and Ahsoka, like them talking about Luke, for example, as everyone forgot that Luke exists at this point. Here's the thing: this wasn't Anakin. This is in Ahsoka's head, and her, right? Her coming to terms with what happened to Anakin again, right? Her coming to terms with what happened to Anakin again, and her realizing that she doesn't have to turn out that way, right? And choosing to live instead of die. So this has nothing to do with Luke because it's not actually Anakin. Anakin could appear like, I do believe we're going to get a Force Ghost Anakin appearance at some point later on in this series. After she's come to terms and accepted some of these things. But yes, they're not going to have a talk about Luke or anything like that because this isn't really Anakin. It's in Ahsoka's head. The internet guy for 2, One Piece live action's horrible. Why all the hype? I don't fucking know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Everyone just really wants me to watch it.
It's fun. It's fun to watch, man. It's like, it's and like the characters are great. There's like so much, like even for a normie, I feel like that I can understand a lot of what's going on with what they're setting up for kind of the story and the world. And so as someone who's a normie like me, Ryan, I think you'll be able to get right into it. And it might even inspire you to watch the actual anime.
I don't have time for that.
It's only 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I don't have time for 1,000 fucking episodes. But I did want to talk about something interesting. A month ago, when the latest quarterly earnings report came out, and we found out that not only is Disney Plus still losing hundreds of millions of dollars, but they also lost nearly 12 million subscribers in just 3 months. Disney decided they need to take some action, right? We're bleeding subscribers. What are we going to do? We're going to hike the prices massively. Maybe we won't have as many subscribers, but we'll try to make more money off the ones that we do. And that led to a massive search spike for cancel Disney Plus because people realize, man, I don't really even like it now. I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth now, and I'm certainly not going to pay more money for that. Apparently, cancel Disney Plus is still a pretty highly searched thing right now because IGN decided to take a break from giving horrible video games a 7 out of 10. And this might be one of their most liked tweets or most engaged with tweets in months from IGN. IGN's writing articles about how to cancel Disney Plus. Disney Plus is raising its prices on October 12th. Here's how to cancel. And then here it is, how to cancel your Disney Plus subscription step by step. And the reason why websites write things like this, it's because it's something that is a highly searched topic and they're trying to get that to put that out in the algorithm because they know a lot of people are searching for that.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
It's so funny that it's clear that it's still being said that people still are canceling Disney Plus, while at the same time, Disney's doing everything they can to boost their numbers. Have you seen the price cut that they have on Disney Plus right now? I don't know how this works. You announce you're going to raise your prices in October, but before then, you slash them to basically giving this thing away. Desperate Disney Plus temporarily slashes sales to $1.99 per month. Decide this is to get you to watch Ahsoka and Little Mermaid and Elemental and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is a desperate effort to boost their subscriber numbers so that next quarterly earnings report doesn't look like such absolute horrendous dog shit. It's a big disconnect though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny is such a fantastic film. I would absolutely subscribe to Disney Plus just so I can watch that over and over again because it was incredible. It was a masterpiece, and like everything else that Disney is doing so fantastic right now. And and so then they do this price slash, and then they get a whole bunch of other people to hopefully, at least that's kind of their thinking, to subscribe. And then, oh, by the way, here's a jack in the price right here. Enjoy. We'll see you on the other side, guys.
Exactly. And it is funny, right, that they're advertising it. Come watch Ahsoka. Come watch A Little Mermaid. Only $1.99 a month. So if they can't get people to subscribe for $1.99 a month for 3 months, what can they do? Like what price will, if they give it away, will people finally subscribe? And this is all happening while they're getting sued for misrepresenting how successful Disney Plus was by their shareholders. So it's just funny. It's clear to me the $1.99 push for 3 months, not just a month. This is something you do at the beginning of a streaming service. This is something you do to initially boost your numbers. They did that way back in the day, 3 years ago. But that they're doing it now, to me, says a lot. That they really need to boost those numbers up and make it look like this thing is successful or has a chance of being successful, and to get people to watch their new show Ahsoka. That's part of it too, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like pay to watch like Indiana Jones. Like I probably would not have gone to see it in theaters if I had to actually like pay money to go watch that film. And I like the thing is that they're trying to get families to get involved in Disney Plus, and this is one of the things that they're trying to do because there's a lot of families that they could probably get to subscribe to it for like $2 a month because like, hey, there's content that we can put on for the kids and all that stuff for only $2 a month. That's not a bad deal. And then they rope them in and maybe try to get the kids hooked on like some of their kids content that they got going on there. And then it's like, well, now we can't cancel it because, now our kids are watching freaking Bluey or whatever is on Netflix or on Disney Plus. I don't even know what's on Disney Plus for kids at this point, but
I don't even know what the fuck Bluey is. I just always see it really high in the streaming charts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that's not what my kids watch. I'm very very picky about what I let my kids watch, and let's just say that none of it is coming from Disney Plus.
Pepina says better than Crystal Skull. That's all it's got going for it. That is blasphemy. That Crystal Skull is better than Dial of Destiny. And it's not even close, I think.
Yeah.
At least half of Crystal Skull feels like an Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least it didn't like shit all over Indiana Jones as a character in that film. So.
Yeah. And like they basically just did the same ending from Crystal Skull for this one.
Right.
Except, Mutt's dead now.
Yeah,
he just died in Vietnam. Like that's the one. The ending of Crystal Skull sucks. The entire third act is a mess because there's too many people involved. Ox is annoying. They've got way too many like people along on this trip with them. I think that's kind of the biggest thing that Crystal Skull actually struggles from because you have Ox, you have Mutt, you have Marion, you have Indy, and you have what's his name, the guy who kept switching sides. But anyway, it's like a group of 5 people that are all constantly having dialogue back and forth. I think that's one of the bigger problems. Mm-hmm. But then the alien thing at the end just was stupid and a dumb way to end that. Yeah. But the last scene of the movie is great, right? You get to see these 2 people who really were meant for each other and who, lost each other and grew apart, come together, and a really nice, happy ending for them that much in the same way Force Awakens did with Han Solo and with Leia, immediately breaks them up, destroys that family, a loss of a child, like all this stuff. To destroy that happiness that Indy was feeling, that fulfillment that he felt at the end of Crystal Skull. So I hate Dial of Destiny, man.
Oh man, the thing that I find the most funny about Dial of Destiny is that like Indiana Jones in that film literally survives like a bomb, and towards the beginning,
he's in lead,
film. and then like the only thing that could take out Indiana Jones was a punch from Phoebe Waller-Bridge. That's the only thing that could officially knock out Indiana Jones and take him out of the picture was that single punch. He got like shot and everything. Like he got freaking like shot through the chest or whatever. And nope, none of that fazed him. It was Phoebe Waller-Bridge. It's pretty fantastic.
Well, I think that the idea that he was refusing to go back, that he was willing to change the course of history, Indiana Jones would never do that. He would do anything to protect history. That's always been his like core element. He's trying to protect and preserve history.
Yeah.
So the idea that he would be willing to potentially change the entire course of time by staying behind is completely antithetical to everything that Indiana Jones stands for as a character. And the need for Phoebe Waller-Bridge to knock him out and to save the timeline is just bullshit.
It's ridiculous, yeah. But think about it. By the time that they have like an all-female Phoebe Waller-Bridge Indiana Jones series on Disney Plus, you guys might only have to pay $20 a month to watch it. Isn't that cool?
True. That's true. Maybe this will have $199 sales there.
Yeah, maybe.
Just leave me here to die. It's basically what he was saying.
Yeah.
All right. Steven Wasig, member for 4 months, been scanning in since 199. Between the yokels that gave us those memes and the MCU fan, G&G really does have the stupidest haters. Hail. And over on Rumble, I see Switch EOS. So MCU fan, maybe whoever that is, has made his way over to Rumble now. No one's paying attention to him on. No one's paying attention to him over on YouTube, so he's made his way over to the Rumble chat. Saint Bowser says, "Ryan, check your PO box." Hey, I will check it out. I'll check out my PO box probably this weekend then. Where am I? Donut Swan for 5. Is Rosario Dawson pregnant? I know she's a luscious Nubian queen with ruddy thighs and a specialty cervix. Jesus, but she's always covering up. They don't want her sexualized in this, is my guess. I don't know.
I guess not.
She was wearing that big old fucking, but now it's going to be a white garment. Tobias Nexus for 5. Bluey's a kid show that's made in Australia. Its purpose is values of family, friendship, etc. You know, all the stuff Disney's throwing away. Well, I know it's a kid show, but I don't know what it's about. Like, is it about like an animal named Bluey?
Like
is
a
about
dog
like
or something, I think. Yeah.
Dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Dog named Blue. Marvel Mind Trick for 199. Thank you very much. The Real Smile Bit with 10 gift memberships. Hell yes. 10 new members in chat. We appreciate that. The Real Smile Bit. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that feel free to think. I found out branded YouTube accounts can't receive memberships gifties. So many of us have them from way back when and never knew. Maybe that's why. So if you have if it's part of a brand, you'd have to go to the original one to actually receive a channel membership. That's kind of strange. That's kind of strange. So that is new information. I didn't know that from before. So good to know. Good to know. So Josiah, other than One Piece, you've been watching anything? Any other the drivel that's coming out?
No, I mean, I've been trying to catch like a lot of the movies that are coming to theaters, but that's about.
You seen Equalizer yet?
Which one?
Equalizer.
I haven't seen the Equalizer yet. No,
I'm gonna try to see that next couple of days. I wish I could have gone to see it like earlier, but Equalizer 3 looks fucking badass. I've heard it's awesome. I like the first two. Denzel. How old is Denzel now? He's got to be 60, right?
Yeah, he's got to be at least 60. Yeah.
Age. He's 68. Denzel is 68.
Yeah, I knew he was at least pushing 70. So yeah, and he's still just such a freaking badass dude. Like, I can't wait to watch.
What's your favorite Denzel movie?
Oh man, Man of Fire is up there for me. I love that film. So it probably would be Man of Fire. I really liked. I know this film is a little bit mixed, but I really liked The Book of Eli a lot as well. I thought that film was interesting. The film was a pretty unique film. It kind of like it was just like the whole concept of it was like something that I haven't really seen before when it comes to film, and I thought that Denzel was fantastic in the film. I thought there's like it's been a long time since I've seen that film, but there's like some pretty cool like action sequences in there as well that I thought were pretty great. So that film's up there. I don't know. I like a lot.
American Gangster is probably like my favorite Denzel movie. I love American Gangster. I love it when it came out. I love it anytime it comes on, I watch it. Russell Crowe's in that shit too. So it's just like it's like two great actors, on opposite sides. That I love American Gangster.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of good Denzel movies though.
There are.
Remember the Titans? I used to watch that shit all the time when I was a kid. If you're looking for like a more wholesome, like kind of family movie.
Remember I even really liked that one like stupid train movie that he was in. I don't remember what that was. Unstoppable, I think it was called.
When he's the train conductor.
Yeah. That film was pretty fun. I remember watching that in theaters. That was a good time.
Is he in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 as well?
Is he really?
I think he is in that as well. There's a couple train movies with Denzel. But
he's been in, like, his list of movies that he's been in is insane. It's actually kind of insane.
Yeah, he's a fucking legit star.
Yep.
We'll see how much longer he keeps making move. Like, I don't know if he's got like any more roles like Equalizer. I wonder how they shot that with him being so, so old and everything. And I just don't see him as necessarily being in the same type of shape as a guy like Tom Cruise or Keanu.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like to do those type of things, even though they're a little bit older too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited to watch Equalizer 3. I think there's a couple movies that are coming out this weekend that I want to check out as well. Which I won't be able to this weekend because I'm going to be away shooting all weekend. But hopefully next week. I'm actually going to be on vacation next week as well. So it's just like one thing after another for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling over the next 3 weeks.
Old Man Rising for $5. Ahsoka bitch slaps Anakin and says, "You have nothing left to teach me." She does at the beginning of their fight, and then he cuts the world between worlds. She falls, and then bests him again. Darkseid and spares his life, a la Reva. Luke sad. Yeah, the fact that she beats Anakin, and again, it's like it's not actually Anakin. It's in her mind, and she's really beating the memory of Anakin and the fear that she could turn into him. I think that's kind of what you're supposed to get from it. But still, to see her beat Anakin, I guess it's up to you if you like to see that. Tobias Nexus for 2. Bluey is a blue healer collie. Okay, there you go. Taryn the Black for 199. Malcolm X is Denzel's best acting job, hands down. Yeah, Malcolm X is good. KCW 199. Book of Eli's S tier. Obama. Book of Eli, that's good. Sir Hat for 2. Denzel Washington was great in Man on Fire. SBZ for 2. The Book of Eli is Fallout the movie. It does kind of feel like Fallout, doesn't it?
It does actually, yeah. Yep.
Probably better than whatever Fallout Amazon series we're gonna get.
Probably. Probably. Yeah, the Amazon track record hasn't been that great either. So yeah. So we'll see what they do with Fallout. They're also doing like God of War. Like Amazon has so many like video game adaptations that they're working on right now. And I don't have high hopes for most of them. Apparently like Dwayne Johnson was like someone that they were like considering to play Kratos, and I was like, bro, that'd be like the worst casting in the world, bro.
It's like I get it because he's
big. There's
only a handful of people that look like that in the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, he does look like him, like from a body type perspective.
Right.
What I really want to see is The Rock play Kratos in whiteface.
There you go. Yeah,
that's what it would be.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I want to see the reactions to that. I think that would be good.
That would be pretty funny.
Well, isn't he making like Gears of War movie or something? Like he's making a video game movie, isn't it? Like Gears of War.
I know. What's the other? Wow, why can't I think of his name off the top of my head? The other fucking wrestler guy, Dave Bautista. He wants to do Gears of War really badly. He's been trying to get that for years at this point. So I don't know if it'll actually happen, but I mean, Dave Bautista, I think is actually like a better actor than Dwayne Johnson is. I think that he has a little bit more range than Dwayne Johnson does. So I could see.
I don't think he's a great actor either.
Well, I mean, he's not like amazing, but I think he's a better actor than Dwayne Johnson, to be honest. So I don't think Dwayne Johnson's that great of an actor. So he's got a lot of charisma, but
like Kratos is like a fairly. It's not like there's a bunch of different. Kratos is a very stoic. He's either like super stoic or he's just fucking furious.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There's not like a ton of in between for Kratos. So I don't know. Maybe those guys can pull it off.
Yeah. And I think they're planning on doing like the Norse like version of Kratos as well. So, with that, there's gonna be more range that they're gonna have to do for Kratos with that than they would if they were doing like the Greek version of Kratos. Yeah,
I agree. Now, and that one he mostly is pretty that's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. He's very stoic. And even obviously he cares and there's like emotional attachment and stuff, but he doesn't really show it very much. You know, he very much
Right.
is
Right.
he's very much trying to be hard and stoic and not
Mhm.
show any type of weakness like that, you know?
Yeah. But I think that's one of the things that makes Kratos so interesting, especially in like the Norse side of his story, is that like there's so much like subtlety there with like his emotions and what he can do. Because and I just don't know if like Dwayne Johnson's gonna be able, if he would be able to pull off like that type of subtlety with having those complex emotions like under the layer of Kratos that you can feel even if he isn't like expressing them outright.
Yeah. Slick Gossip for 2, Training Day, fantastic Denzel movie. Eating Ass for 2, No Love for John Q. I like John Q. Bert for 199, Ricochet, 1991 with Denzel, John Lithgow, and Ice-T. Tommy Reviews, Denzel in Fallen is my fave, an underrated horror thriller with John Goodman and Tony Soprano actor. What's the one with Clive Owen where Clive Owen is a bank robber and Denzel's a police officer? You remember that movie?
Oh man, it's been such a long time since I've seen that. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh my god,
what
it's like
was
a
that?
one word. Clive Owen, Denzel, Inside Man. That's 2 words. Inside Man.
Inside Man. That's a
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how many like different favorite Denzel movies people have.
Much Ado About Nothing. That was another one that I used to watch quite a bit when I was younger. That has a crazy cast. That has like Kenneth Branagh and Keanu Reeves. It has like a whole bunch of big stars in that one. Used to watch that one quite a bit too. Big fan of the Shakespeare stuff. He was really good in the Tragedy of Macbeth, which came out a couple years ago as well.
Read the chat. If you weren't fucking retarded, you might know that chat's on like a 20-second delay, right? So by the time I looked it up, it might have been in the chat, but I was not able to see that yet. So it's okay. So things are tough. Things are tough out there. But we're at an hour. We're at an hour. It's almost noon Eastern. Thank you guys for tuning in. Josiah, you've already talked a little about what you got going on, but you're about to take off, so probably not too many videos and stuff while you're traveling, right?
Probably not. I mean, so basically I'm going to be going up to shoot the rest of Blood and Water this weekend, and then after that, I'm literally taking off like immediately. Like I'm going to be getting home, and then the next morning we're taking off to go on vacation for like 2 weeks. We're going to be going out west. We're going to be going like through all of the like northwestern states, and then going down to like California to see the redwoods and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's gonna be a pretty busy few weeks for me. So yeah, that's gonna be kind of what I'm gonna be doing for the next few weeks. I'm gonna be still working on a lot of Epicverse stuff, and I'm gonna definitely be trying to get some videos out while I'm on vacation. But I'm also going to be trying to enjoy a little bit of family time. This is like the first vacation I've taken since like 2018, so it's going to be nice. So
there you go, vacation. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I don't see any of those in my future, but shout out to you. Yeah, I'm going to get back on the grind and get more videos out now that I'm back home. So chat, thank you guys for being here. We will be back tomorrow. I don't know who will be on. Might be me and Jeremy. I don't really know. I don't know what'll be happening tomorrow, but either way, we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow. Not 11 p.m., but 11 a.m. And hopefully we won't be late tomorrow. But thank you guys. We'll talk to you all later. Peace.
Bye, everyone.